My friends, it's Dave from Southgate Imaging. So, a lot of my subscribers are Yamaha fans. I'm a Yamaha fan. I gotta admit it. So, I have an FSX3 here now. So, just a brief overview. So, the Yamaha world, this is kind of a counterpart to the LL series, the LL Luxury series. Which Engelmann spruce top, typically rosewood back and side, usually solid. This is more, they're kind of vintage series, which is more aligned really with Martin, like 00018s and Martin D18. So that's really where Yamaha is pointing this series to. So they have the FS and the FG. The FG is the Dreadnought, the FS is the Concert. This is the Concert size. So it's FS. This one is an X, and the X speaks to the pickup that's in it. It's a 3-source pickup. It's a high-end pickup. If you have a chance of getting one of these with or without it, especially at used pricing, always go for the one with the pickup. You can't put a pickup in these for anywhere near what you're going to get factory. So we'll talk about that a bit, probably in another video. I got my eye on a Fishman acoustic amp, and I'll need that to do the pickup justice. So we'll hold off on that. I won't speak too much about the pickup. So again, this is kind of a repeat if you've kind of been in this, following these on my site. So that there's the FS3 and the FS5. The 5 is a higher end guitar. It's finished in Japan. It has the 5 would have a bone nut and saddle. The 3 has urea, which actually sounds pretty darn good for a plastic nut and saddle, I gotta tell you. The 5 has gloss top these days, so that would be the FS5-2, they call it. They've changed them, and it's really a positioning thing. So when you have the guitar and it's a gloss, people associate gloss with more money, higher end guitar. So they've kind of done that with the 5 series. They never used to. They used to be all, whether it was a 3 or 5, they used to be all the satin top toner finish. So the FS5 is finished in Japan, set up in Japan. So generally the setups are immaculate with them. They just, they're the next level up. Should be more attention to detail. Not necessarily the case, and again, it comes down to the individual instrument you pick up. I'll just say that. So the FS5 also comes with a hardshell case, a really nice hardshell case. These come with a structured gig bag. It's a nice gig bag. I prefer using a gig bag going out to jams and everything. And it's just, for me, it's more versatile. The case, they're too nice a case to go banging around, to be honest, for me. So that's kind of where they lay. The FS series in general, it's going to have a solid spruce top. In the case of these ones, the 3 series, they have the yellow kind of vintage toner. They have ebony fingerboard, ebony bridge. They have strip mahogany back and side. And on the back, they have the strip of ebony, it looks like, going down here. Tuner button, strap buttons included all of them. And they have the Yamaha vintage tuners. They're really nice. They're a great set of tuners. They just is a very comfortable size. I think the body is a little bit deeper than it would be on the FS800. And it's kind of interesting how this is a mid to high end instrument. The FS800, I've taken them to jams, and I've taken these to jams, and the FS800 holds up so well in some of these situations. The big difference between the FS800 and the FS3 series is a 1 3/4 inch nut on the FS3. The FS800 has a smaller nut, and it just depends. If you can live with a smaller nut, you can save yourself a lot of money. But they don't have the sound. They don't have the deep sound of these. These, once you start playing them and you say, "Oh, I really like this," they sound really good. So that's kind of in a nutshell what you're getting at this level. The FS800, in my mind, the best value instrument in the world. I mean, you really can't beat them, especially like if you're looking for a small body guitar. They're really nice. These are really more mid-market, higher end. These compete directly with the Martin 00018. They are very close. you're a Martin fan person, that's fine. Play one of these and you'll see. I know people that have actually sold their Martins and got these. The downside is Yamahas depreciate and they sell a lot slower than Martins do. So if you buy one of these and you try to get anywhere near retail, you're not going to get it. Strangely, in the shops here in Halifax, you can't buy these. Long McQuaid hardly ever has them in stock. When they come in, they move fast, but there's just not that many around. On the used market, there's really not. When they come up, I'm always interested because I know they're just nice guitars. When they sell slow, though, the buyers they just don't come out of the woodwork. They're kind of like a bit of a secret of their whatever. You just don't see them around very much. So that's what you're getting with these. This one in particular was interesting. I bought it from a guy that just was really, he bought a high-end instrument. He was a self-described hacker on a guitar. It was just too much instrument for him, and he moved it on to me. At the time, it was about 2 years old. It needed a setup. It was never set up. And this is where the FS3 difference from the FS5. The FS3s, the setups vary a lot more. The FS5s, they have the attention in the factory. Generally, the setups are really good. However, in this case, I could have done it myself. I got my buddy Travis out in Sackville, and I ran out, or Fall River, I guess, and I ran out. He got me in right away, and it was more of a social event than anything, but we did this app. So it needed work on the nut. That was far too high. And he was on his way out the door, and we didn't have a lot of time. He did the nut for me, and he dressed the frets. The frets were a little rough, and so we got through that in about half an hour. The playability, like I say, when I've talked about setups before, you got your neck relief, you got your nut height, and then you got your saddle. And so I had the truss rod adjuster. When I don't see Travis, we just worked on he did the work on the nut. And you really need, when you're working on something like this, you really want to have the best nut files. And he had the great nut files. We did that, polished the fret ends, and I got home, and I like to leave the guitar in the house for a couple days and let it settle, and then maybe work on the action down here. I took it down a little bit, and I'll probably take it down again to the next string change, but right now it's pretty good. I don't like to take it too low, although I'm a fingerstyle player. I like to have enough action height so I'm going to bang on it and I'm doing some heavy strumming in a jam situation. You want to be able to get that extra volume, maybe leave it there. So, like I say, to me it's an iterative thing. When you go in the store, get them done, you got to tell them what you want and they'll do it and you're done. Whereas if you're doing it yourself, you kind of play with it and get it where that you want to dial that particular instrument in for what you're doing. Anyway, that's kind of the details. It's dialed in now. It's really good. I like where it's at, and it's a lot of fun doing it. And it was an excuse to go and see Travis, so that was fine. That all worked out good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to sit down and play it in the studio with the good mics, with the good Rode mic I have upstairs, and we're going to play the regular stuff, and then I'll come back with some final comments. anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. These things are just a joy to play. And to me, when I pick one of these up, it's like coming home. I'm just so familiar with them now. Again, this was a mint condition. It really just needed the setup. So many people have guitars and never get them set up properly and don't really get to appreciate how good the guitar they have is, because they just don't have the setups right, or they got dead strings and they don't really realize it. Strings is something that catches up to you really. It's slow and you don't really realize it. You put fresh strings on it and you're like, oh wow. So like I say, fresh strings all the time, good setups go a long way. So again, this is not my first FSX. They're great. I do promise an upcoming video with a mic, and we'll walk through the pickup a little bit, because these pickups are spectacular in these. And it's nice having the flexibility. If you want to go to an open mic, or you're going to go to a jam where you're amplified, it's really nice to have it. To me, for the money, these are great. In Canada, new, these are like a $1,500 plus HST guitar. So you're looking at like $1,800 Canadian, and they're getting pricey. Now, mind you, the equivalent Martin is over $3,000 here. So they're pricey, but they're really not. Used is the way to go. Yamahas are great guitars, but they don't keep the value the way the Martins do. So if you can pick these up, you can pick these up at times for about half price of retail, because retail's jumped up a lot lately. These were $1,200 2 years ago. Now they're $1,500 here. So if you pick them up used, they don't come up often, but if they do jump on them, you won't be disappointed. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you around the corner. Thanks.